In this short video, we're going to outline the process of how you can protect and license a PhoneGap application. PhoneGap is a development environment where you can use HTML5 to create mobile applications for various platforms like iOS and Android. You'll be able to add protection and licensing to those applications to create various license types like trial licenses, product licenses, subscription licenses, where the user will, after downloading your application from the internet onto their device, they'll use a serial number to activate the license. So to get started, let's go to the excelsoftware.com site, and you'll see the basic technology behind this protection and licensing process. We'll click on the Protect and License button, and it takes you to a page with a lot of different protection and licensing tools for different development environments. And if we scroll down a ways, you'll see there's a page related to cloud license. So that's the technology that's going to be used to protect our PhoneGap applications. Now, what cloud license is, it consists of a set of commands that are sent from the device to an online server to do the initial activation and to manage the license. And there's two different servers that can support cloud license, either an account on the Safe Activation Service 3 or the cloud license server, which is self-hosted on your own Linux or Windows website. Now, there's lots of different types of licenses, and they can be made so that after initial activation with a serial number, the user can use your application on that mobile device without having internet access. To make it easy to implement cloud license for various platforms, there is a tool called CloudRT. It consists of a runtime file that you add to your application, and it implements everything, so you can just call a couple of simple functions to set up the type of license that you want. But to make it even easier for PhoneGap developers, there is a PhoneGap CloudRT download that comes free with the CloudRT. And the idea there is it consists of some files that you can just add to your project, modify a couple of strings, and there's no programming at all involved in the whole process. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. So let's assume you've already developed your PhoneGap application and you're ready to protect it for iOS or Android. So onto your Mac or Windows computer, you're going to download the CloudRT and the PhoneGap CloudRT downloads. And within the CloudRT, you'll see there's a user guide that describes how to set up a string with a set of parameters that define a specific type of license that you want to apply to your application. There's also some runtime files for various OS environments. And if we look at the PhoneGap CloudRT folder, it comes with an iOS folder and an Android folder. And in the iOS folder, you'll see some additional files that you add into your project and specific instructions on how to add these files to a PhoneGap application. Likewise, in the Android folder, you'll see some additional files there you'll add to your project, and again, specific instructions for a PhoneGap Android application. So here we have a PhoneGap iOS application opened into Xcode. We're going to add licensing using those instructions for the CloudRT, and we'll essentially just copy in some files into our Xcode project. And this particular file has a few strings of information that you'll need to modify to set up a specific type of license. And that's all described in the PDF file that comes with CloudRT. You'll also have to set up a few bits of information on the server for that particular type of license. And then you'll just build your application and it'll be protected with that type of license applied. The process for Android is essentially the same, except now you'll be using Eclipse or Android Studio to open up your project. you'll use the instructions that come with the PhoneGap CloudRT download to add some files to your project, and then within one of those files you'll have to modify one of the strings of information to set up a particular type of license. And again, set up a few bits of information on the server, and then just build your application, and it will be protected with that type of license. Once the files are added to the project, data is set up in the online activation server. If you run the application within the simulator, you'll be able to see the activation process play out. So an activation dialog is presented when the application is first launched, and the user will enter a serial number that you've given them at the time of purchase, and some other information that you may want to collect. And then they'll click the Activate Now button, and immediately the application is up and running.